I just wanted to prove that I do have an audience for my speech. I have my younger sister Christine and her boyfriend Kaden sitting in front of me while I present. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. I just wanted to first of all ask you guys if you've ever been in a situation where you wanted to travel, however financial reasons stopped you. Okay. I too have been in that situation. Several people have been in that situation. I think that there are several options out there for people that do want to travel on a budget. However, I recommend being an au pair. An au pair allows you to experience the true culture of the country that you're visiting. It allows you to make friends and lifelong relationships with people, as well as traveling on a budget, ultimately. So, an au pair exactly is a young adult that's traveling to another country, staying with a host family as a nanny in exchange for room and board. So typically an au pair is a young woman. They are there to help the children and the family learn English typically. However, there are families that do, there are other languages that they expect you to learn. Being an au pair allows for a well-rounded experience of learning a new culture as well as developing yourself, especially at a young age. I wanted to address my experience as an au pair. In January of 2020, I decided to go to Spain. It did take a lot of preparation with visas and whatnot. I chose a family that had 2 children and they were living in a city. This was very important to me. Some people prefer living in a small town or having only 1 child or several children that are older. But for me, this was perfect. The kids were ages 6 and 8. I left in January, like I said, and I definitely had a lot coming my way. There was a big culture shock upon arriving in Spain. I had never been in a foreign country, let alone in a country that spoke a different language than I did. There was also bigger shocks like family dynamics. Over there, the parents were a little bit less involved. They were less strict with the kids and there was less punishments as compared to here in the United States. Here spanking your child is almost common, but over there that was never heard of. So there was also things that I had to learn, like my responsibilities, and talking to people that were not fluent English speakers was a big thing for me. The kids, of course, did have a knowledge of English, but they weren't fluent. Neither were the parents. The dad didn't even speak English. So going to a different country, that was just completely overwhelming to me at a young age. There were several things that I did like. I really enjoyed the differences, learning a new culture, learning a new language. That was all very interesting to me and it allowed for a lot of mental growth. There were also things that I didn't like and things that were really difficult to get used to. Like I said, the family dynamics. Being in a household where the kids weren't really punished was very strange to me. And also getting used to other cultural things like the food and the way that people acted and what they wore and whatnot was a very big learning curve. However, all of this was very beneficial. It was incredibly life-changing. There was also a lot of friends that I got to make while I was there. I made a lot of friends with au pairs and other young people my age. There were au pairs from all over the world. We oftentimes met through social media groups, which are developed solely for the au pairs and in that region, and so then they can contact each other and make plans, and then you have the ability to make friends and you're not really just alone in this new country. Lastly, I wanted to discuss how exactly you can become an au pair and how you can have a similar experience. The website that you typically go through is aupairworld.com. This is it. You can't really see it. It's on the computer. But on here, they address different things like choosing a family and why you should choose a family and why you should not choose a family, exactly how to find a family that matches your needs and your desires in the relationship. It also addresses legal things like visas. This is where I found a lot of my visa information and how I needed to obtain a visa and the process that I needed to go through. Au Pair World also touches base on the mental preparation that you need for your big change. There's several things that it talks about like about asking yourself why you're doing this, what you're exactly trying to get out of it. It also touches base on different things that really unite au pairs, like living with children, because that can be very different for some people. I come from a household where we're all over the age of 17, so there's not really little kids running around all of the time. And it also addresses things like culture shock. I did also talk to a couple of my friends about their experience as an au pair. My friend Eileen, she's from Texas. She currently lives in Texas. However, she was an au pair in Spain for like a year or two. She recommended the experience to anybody. She said that it was completely life-changing and it really allows for a lot of mental growth. I also watched a lot of YouTube videos by these twins called the Burns twins. Their names are Olivia and Corinne. They both were au pairs in Spain as well, and now they're auxiliars. They both had similar things to say as Eileen did, that it was completely life-changing, and they believe that it's almost necessary for a lot of young women because it really makes you independent and realize the things that you want and you desire as a human, and it just allows you to learn a lot as well with culture and whatnot. So as I've explained, being an au pair gives you a lot of leeway in really deciding what you want to do as a career path as you get older, and also it gives you the opportunity to learn a lot about cultures, all while still living on a budget, considering that your room and board is covered while you're living abroad. Is there any questions? No? Okay. Thank you!